Hey there, my name is KOKETSO, and I'm a medical student at the University of Free State. And in one of my previous videos, I spoke about how I moved from getting 30% in grade 11 to getting 90s in Matric. So let's face it, Matric is one of, if not the most important grade in your life, because you use the marks that you get in Matric to apply for university, you use the same marks to apply for a bursary, you use the same marks to apply for a job, because even as a qualified professional, as a qualified medical doctor or a qualified lawyer, they will request you to attach your Matric results. They are that important. In grade 12, I remember on the first day of school, on the 12th of January 2022, I had already completed the first term of my physics syllabus, and I was halfway through finishing the first term of my mathematics syllabus. So I studied a lot during holidays. I made sure that I prepared for my Matric in advance, and that is what you are watching this video to see. The first thing that I find quite important to get out of the way, first of all, is don't focus on your previous losses. Look at this as starting on a clean slate. It's a new academic year, so everything starts off brand new, right? So generally, I tell myself that I do not win or lose. I rather win or learn. If I've lost, great stuff, great news for everybody, because now I reflect. I take my time to sit and think, to say, okay, KOKETSO sharp. You were getting 30% for mathematics. You're getting 50% for physics. Why is that so? Perhaps you didn't study as much. Perhaps you didn't understand what you were doing. Perhaps you were studying 2 days before. So that's me learning from my loss. And then I know that next time I'm going to fix the studying 2 days before. I'm going to fix the not understanding what I'm doing. So that's the first thing I want us to do before we get any further. Never focus on the past, but rather always learn from it. So you either win or you learn. You don't win or lose. Yeah. And the next thing you want to do is you want to download all the necessary exam guidelines. I remember I downloaded all the exam guidelines, and my brother and his friend went out to ask for textbook from friends that they knew that were in Matric, because my brother was in Matric the year before me. So although he did not do all the subjects that I do, he went on to ask from people for textbooks, which eventually helped me. He went on to ask for past papers, which would eventually help me. So spend your time preparing and collecting the material that you will need. Collect a few seniors' numbers that you know you need guidance from. What I mean is, if you're currently in grade 11, find someone that is in grade 12, ask them for guidance, ask them, hey, how did you do for this? How did you do for that? And then you'll see that the moment you start struggling with certain things, you can rely on them. So you can ask a senior. So I had someone that I used to ask, okay, I'm struggling with S's and bases. How did you understand it? And then he told me, give it time, it's this and that and that. And I went in with that mindset. And it's something that I continued doing from the beginning of Matric till the end, where I'd be like, okay, dog, I have prelims in the next 5 days. I don't understand this topic. What did you do to nail it in quicker? He told me, okay, it depends on you as a person, but you can try this and this and this, and if this works, then try this. And that really helped me an awful lot in the eventual note. The next thing that you want to do is you want to nail down everything and fine-tune it from the first principle. What I mean by that is, sometimes you find that the reason why you're not understanding something is because you don't understand the first principle of it, the basic detail of what exactly it means, right? And understanding the first principle of something allows you to see the bigger picture. So for an example, I'll use the Doppler effect. Something that helped me understand the Doppler effect and make sure that I always get 100% when it comes to that question is I looked at someone to explain the background of it before I started looking into questions. I went on to watch Mlungi Sinkosi. I went on to watch Kevin Mad Science, and watching the video that spoke about, imagine that there's an ambulance that's passing. When you hear the sound come from this direction, it sounds louder as it comes, but the moment it has passed you, it sounds as if it's a bit less loud. And it's not because of how loud it is, but it's rather the frequency. Because the closer it is, the more frequency and the less wavelength and all those things, they start making a lot of sense, Let me, if this is going to make it simpler for anyone here, I hope so. I hope it does make it simpler for someone here. So the way that I looked at the Doppler effect was basically, imagine a car that is far away from you. When that car is far away and you draw maybe waves here, let's say you draw 5 waves. When the car is far away from you, there's a certain distance between those waves. But if the car is closer to you, the wavelength, which is the distance between one wave to another, between the crest of a wave and the crest of another, I don't even know if I'm right, but yes, that distance, when the wavelength becomes small, because the distance is now smaller. And because the wavelength is small, the frequency is higher, because frequency and wavelength are inversely proportional. So that's how I always look at it. When they say a car is moving away, so if you move away from me and if you're holding a rope, then it means that you're increasing the wavelength, but the frequency is going to decrease because, yeah, I don't know if I'll try and draw an image to let you see it in the way that I used to see it. And that is what learning something from the first principle, watching a video from Lungisinkosi in Chem Math Science, reading a textbook, seeing something from a YouTube video that will make me understand the concept instead of understand how to answer the questions. Because once you understand the concept and the very first principle, then nailing down the topic itself will be a breeze. Now, one of the biggest problems that people tend to make when it comes to studying ahead to prepare for the next year is they end up focusing on a core subject. So perhaps focusing on maths and physics alone, or focusing on maths, lit, history, and and business studies only. Don't fall prey to that thing. Don't fall prey to wanting to focus on core subjects simply because in medicine they want maths, physics. Then you only focus on maths and physics. They also do care about your English marks. So the moment you choose that you're going to neglect English, then you are really not doing good to your application, right? And obviously, if you think about it, a transcript, a Matric transcript, does not look as appealing when you see 100% in maths and 100% in physics. Then you see level 3s and everything else. But it looks rather more appealing when you see 90s and everything, or you see 80s and everything, or you see 200% and at least 5 more other distinctions. That is where a Matric transcript looks appealing enough for medicine. Because why would they admit you if they know that even when you get to medicine, you're going to prioritize anatomy instead of anatomy, biochemistry, pharmacology? If you have your own favorite subjects that you choose, we can't be letting you play with our patients if now you only focus on what you love. So if you don't love this certain sickness that this patient brings, then you're going to neglect that patient. No, you should let your attitude be reflected on those results. And so, thank you for watching this video. I hope this video has been helpful to at least 5 people that are watching this video. If that happens, then I'll be a very happy person. And if you want to see a vlog on a day in the life of a medical student, then click on this video that will be on that information note or on this side. Otherwise, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay happy and healthy. Peace.